Some of the most profound ideas known to men are very simple. Home is where the heart is, we say, and it's a very simple idea. You feel good when you're in your comfortable space. You are unique. It's a very simple idea, but it means a lot to us that you're actually different to everybody else. These are not complicated, but grasping these ideas could really change your life. Something else that's not very complicated either is the Christian gospel. And that's going to change your life a whole lot more than any of those things. The Christian gospel actually reaches into the deepest parts of your life and fundamentally alters the direction of the life that you're traveling in. We're going to look at the gospel very, very simply in ABC form and see some words that ABC stand for that actually explain the meaning of what the gospel actually is. A is a good start. Admit. A for admit. Great place to be in the beginning of your Christian walk. Admit you're a sinner. Well, what's a sinner? First of all, when you're thinking of a sinner, you're thinking of somebody who's doing something wrong. Admitting you're a sinner is actually admitting, first of all, your capacity to do wrong, your ability, sometimes frequency of doing wrong. And just because you haven't done terrible things, it doesn't mean that you're not able to do them. Secondly, you'd have to admit your achievement as well. Capacity and achievement, these are different things. The things that actually you have done wrong. We have regrets, every one of us in life. And sin, wrongdoing, going against God's law. This is something that we really need to admit and see what's what inside our lives. Well, admit to who? Firstly, you should really be in a position to admit reality of your own life to yourself. You have to look hard and long within and say to yourself things as they really are. And it's great to be able to pretend, and it's nice to put on a brave face to other people, but actually reality with yourself is fundamental to keeping yourself sane and keeping yourself wise. So admit to yourself and allow yourself to uncover what there is. What's actually the real motivation for doing that good deed? What's really lying behind those other things that have happened? Admit to yourself, but also you've got to admit to God how things are as well. You've got to say to the Almighty how things are. God knows everything. God knows you through and through. But getting real and admitting these things to God yourself, very, very important. Want to be connected with him, you have to be real with him. God is holy and God loves you. And somehow you've got to bring these two things together. He loves you, but he's holy. And if you look within, you find there's that lack of holiness. Something's got to happen, hasn't it? First point is honesty with him. How do you admit it? How do you admit it is another issue. First of all, you've got to admit these things. If you're talking to yourself, you're looking within and you're assessing yourself, do it in a meaningful way. Do this in some way that actually matters to you. Actually admit that wrong is wrong, but also reject it. Actually make it a significant admittance to yourself. Reject the bad and refuse to tolerate it. It's one thing, isn't it, to get unhappy and sad over things that have happened. Judas Iscariot did that over the betrayal of Jesus, but he didn't actually take it anywhere. He didn't actually say, okay, that was what was wrong. I'm not going to do that again. He just ended himself. Secondly, tell God that your wrong is wrong. You've got to admit to God that you're a sinner, that you've gone wrong, but actually tell him that you feel that wrong is wrong, and admit to him too that you know he feels that wrong is wrong. And so there's something wrong in the relationship here. And you have to say that you're sorry that you've missed what he's had for you all the time, which was living as you should do and living in goodness. May God help you as you take these steps, these ABC steps. Admit you're a sinner, step one.